Darby's down 2 blood points. Everyone's looking pretty good. And away we go. Welcome back to New Cammack. In the last session, Darby got fed up with how the rest of the team was treating him and ran off to party in Club Wonderland and slept with Chopper Dave. Sorry, he partied with Chopper Dave and slept in Club Wonderland. There, for unknown purposes, he grabbed a full set of Ninja Turtles weapons from the walls of the Club Wonderland conference room, which are, of course, adorned with exotic weapons from various cultures. And apparently, by channeling his unyielding rage, Darby also developed an incredible permanent 6th dot of strength. With no blood expenditure, he can now deadlift up to 800 pounds and pick up and throw such massive items as a motorcycle or Yo Mama.
Jesus.
Oh, sick burn.
Darby has a vertical jump now of up to 24 feet and can leap up to 36 feet horizontally. Impressive, but still beaten by Archibald's maximum of 32 vertical or 48 horizontal.
Yeah, I don't have your special super jump ability.
Yeah, I got the super jump.
Lions can leap.
I'm
36.
Super Mario over here.
Boing, boing.
That's right.
The short revenant, who does not officially have a name but self-identifies as Batman, reported back about his mission to convince the prospectors that Archibald never existed and was instead a shared hallucination seen by those with weak minds. The prospectors believed this lie so cultishly that they murdered their former foreman and brother of the late Onion Jack, Jasper Boggs, for arriving unexpectedly and remarking about his recent encounter with Archibald. Excavo was told in her dream that Archibald would not win a chess match at Club Wonderland tonight. The 2 beds that Augustine ordered were delivered to Darby Manor from New Cammack's premier bed store, The Beddery. Augustine, by the way, had a terrifying nightmare that all of the city's vampires were starving due to famine's curse on the city, and that he discovered they could still feed on each other, resulting in an all-out murderous brawl between our 4 heroes in the dream, which concluded with Augustine's top and bottom halves ripped apart and his head inserted up his own ass, which violently grew a pine tree out of it. It was extraordinary.
Dude had it coming.
We begin our session with Darby at Club Wonderland and everyone else having just woken up at Darby Manor, with about a half hour remaining before Archibald's chess date with Famine. Quick question for Augustine. You have started your last few nights by immediately going to the Chantry to teach Elizabeth Blackburn the Green Path. Are you going to do that tonight, which I think takes about an hour, or are you going to tell her that you're going to Club Wonderland first and that you'll meet up with her later tonight? And this will be your second to last lesson with her before you're done.
The penultimate lesson.
Uh-huh.
Until I can tell her to shove it! God, I hate them so much.
Fucking level 2 blood bond.
Right. God, I scattered some seeds around their porch the last time I was there. You said it takes about an hour?
We'll call it an hour.
Okay. And presumably,
March
like...
starts in half an hour.
Blake, like, how long does it often take you to play a game of chess?
Over the board, traditional tournament takes a long time.
That really depends, yeah.
Well, Blake has a date like 2 hours after the match or something.
Yeah. So...
Well, then presumably they'd be playing some kind of rapid format.
Yeah, typically when I play IRL, serious match, hour, casual match, 20 or 30 minutes.
Okay.
But I mean, like, professional, like, world-class level, Archibald probably plays longer. Yeah, a couple hours.
I mean, that's just for if the format of the game is traditional. The best players actually can play faster, right?
Yeah, we will probably be playing with some sort of timer, I would imagine.
Okay. I do go to the Chantry and get it out of the way. Therefore, arriving back at the arriving back to the party late.
So your plan is to you're going to go to the Chantry and then go to Club Wonderland right afterward?
Correct.
Okay. That'll have you arriving about a half hour after the chess date starts. We'll call it that.
Cool.
All right. So
It is a date. I have romantic intentions.
So Darby, in a huff, refused to go back home and instead got into Club Wonderland and slept in the basement. You wake up at sundown, which is I think like 8:30, and you hear the sound of a lot of commotion happening upstairs. They're clearly setting up for a concert that's starting. You hear that there are a lot of people already running around upstairs, stomping around, starting to dance. There's a band warming up. So you're hearing all this cacophony muffled above you as you're grabbing your, I think, katana and nunchaku and sais and bow staff.
That's right.
Just to complete the set.
I hope we don't get sued.
As you're doing that, and I assume you wake up and you're just as pissed as you were when you went to sleep.
Grumbling is like the first sound. Like he's pissed. He got woke up by the noise and is just like, God damn, oh, shit. And is just re-mad at everyone for, like, in his mind, forcing him to sleep here.
Re-mad.
Yeah.
So
you're a hot new flash of anger.
You're grabbing stuff off the walls and I guess like finding places to put these weapons on your person.
Yeah.
You reach and you grab a sai off the wall, and as you turn, Onion Jack's face is like right here on your shoulder, and he's saying, "Mr. Darby, what's got you so plumb nettled?" And he looks really concerned, and he's also like suddenly right in your face.
So Darby, man, how do I determine whether that scared the bejesus out of me? I'm just going to say it did. So Darby turns around and is just like, oh, shit, oh, God. Oh.
And the ghost of Jack kind of floats away from you like, oh, you just seem like you woke up on the wrong side of the bed. What happened? I've never seen you this upset.
And Darby's just like fucking staring at him. Like, are you watching me or something? Like, are you following me around? What the fuck? Yeah, I can see you, okay? There's the whole wide world. You could go pretty much anywhere else. Go hang out with your brother. I think he's recently joined your ranks.
What?
Yeah, your brother, he's murdered for just some real bullshit reasons. Just bad place to go at a wrong time. Honestly, it was from hanging out with that Archibald. Seems bad for your whole family now that I come to think about it.
Oh, snap.
You don't mean my brother. Do you mean
Jasper? Yeah, that was it. So dead. Extremely dead. Murdered by a munchkin.
So dead.
Often in the distance, in the basement, you hear another voice. Oh, is that Darby? Darby, I think I hear you calling to me. And
oh, shit, no. Go back. I wasn't. I'm hanging up.
And the ghostly form of Jasper Boggs floats into the room as if summoned. And Onion Jack sees this, a confirmation that his brother has died. And he says, "Well, Jasper, what happened?" "Well, I was walking up to the prospector camp, and I was going to try to make amends for whatever I did wrong that got everyone so upset with me. And then, just out of nowhere, they tore me limb from limb. I must have done something to really skeeve them off. And I think I remember...
Hey, what was you talking about right before it happened?"
I was apologizing for spending time with Archibald instead of with them, with the fellas at the camp.
Oh, so you mentioned Archibald's name, and then They just started tearing you limb from limb. That's interesting. Very interesting, actually.
And Jasper turns to Jack and he says, Jack, I'm sorry. I kicked the bucket just like you, but this does give me an opportunity to get something off my chest. Something I've been keeping from you for a long time. Do you remember the company that I founded with Avon Stank?
And Darby was just about to like leave them to this, and then is like, wait a minute, this is interesting. Okay.
And Jack says, oh, yeah, the one where you made them flying fruit-picking monkeys with science and witchcraft. Of course I remember that. I invested every last penny I had and took out loans to help support my baby brother's venture. It's a real shame them critters dismembered that rich guy on TV and we lost all that money. And then Jasper, he looks very serious and he says, well, Jack, that's not the whole story. I always knew that company would fail, so I shorted it and got rich. I'm sorry, I'm the reason you lost everything. And then a very serious look comes over Onion Jack's face. The cheerful, bright, curious demeanor that he usually has just kind of drops. And you could tell that he's grappling with what he was just told. And he definitely doesn't know what it means to short a stock. He looks at the floor and he looks really conflicted. And Jasper says, Jack, I would have warned you if I knew you were going to invest in it. And Jack says, well, it breaks my old heart to say it, but it sure does sound like dishonorable business. I didn't think my brother would grow up to be a flim-flam man. And then he looks up at you.
Oh, shoot.
And he says, Mr. Darby, do you think I should forgive Jasper for what he's done?
I gotta tell you, man, I couldn't give two shits about whether you do or not. If somebody crossed me like that, they'd be dead to me. But I don't have a brother. I don't get that shit. I'll tell you what.
He's literally dead.
Where's the money now?
Well, I don't know. And Jasper says, well, I suppose it would have been left to... Actually, in my will, I said all my money would go to those prospectors that tore me apart. Huh. Irony.
Shit. Yeah, well, I'm out.
And Jack runs up to you and he gets right in your face and he says, oh, Mr. Darby, over the time we've spent together, I've come to really respect your judgment, your intuition, and I really appreciate you weighing in on this. I don't know if I should forgive my brother, give him the absolution that he seeks, or if I should finally tell him that this crossed a line and he ain't my brother no more.
You know what, man? Sometimes you got to set up your own boundaries. For instance, and he kind of gives him the gist of how his friends took advantage of his kindness and willing to save them by sending him on a wild goose chase just for spite, for no reason but spite, and then repeated the same lie when he could verify that it wasn't true.
That did happen.
And he's like, and those people, I mean, I'm on some kind of grand worldly quest, and they're my only allies, and honestly, they could get fucked. Like, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. So, if you don't feel like that about your brother, then let him go. Say you're sorry. What the fuck ever. But me, I'm done. I'm done with all that shit. I'm going to teach at the community college. I got a great gig lined up. Night class. We're going to do a project on my new bed car thing. You know what? You don't need to know about it. And he starts like packing up his stuff.
Well, Darby, it sounds like you're telling me that forgiveness would be inappropriate, perhaps even enabling in this situation. Is that what I'm hearing from you?
Darby shrugs like, what?
He's really pushing you to tell him what to do. Or is this an opportunity for me to be the bigger man?
So here's what Darby thinks. Darby is calculating backwards here. Maybe if these assholes forgive each other, they can go back to wherever it is spirits go and leave him the fuck alone. So he's just like, yeah, actually, you know what? I think you guys should patch it up. Y'all should patch it up, and I think you should talk about it alone, you know. Getting uninterested third parties involved is probably not something y'all need to do. So, y'all hash it out, figure out how to come to terms with, this betrayal and whatnot. And, I'm rooting for you. Crazy kids. Anyway, I gotta go.
So Jack nods like you've reaffirmed something that he felt in his heart the whole time. And he turns to Jasper and says, well, I could never be cross with you. All is forgiven, brother. And Jasper runs up to you and says, well, thank you so much, Darby. And the two of them start hugging you tight. You can't feel them. I can't feel. Oh no, you can't feel them physically, but they do seem to be attached to your body. Their ghostly forms are just like locked into you, and they're squeezing you so tight, and they look so happy. And the golden lotus pendant that you took from death, you can feel it on your chest starting to heat up, and there's a bright light that's flooding your vision, and the pendant heats up enough, it starts to burn you, and you feel like you're being blinded when suddenly there's a loud thump and a change in the air pressure. And Jasper and Jack are gone, having passed on to whatever comes next, and your pendant falls from your neck and clatters to the ground, burnt and sizzling. Roll to soak 1 level of aggravated damage.
Oh, dip. All right, how many dice? What a scene.
You have 3 fortitude, 3 dice.
I want Famine to kill me now, so I can join him.
Yeah, you got no damage.
So, I mean, Darby's obviously, like, shocked by this. He looks down at the amulet, just, like, to get a closer look at fuck, what the hell was that? Shit. He gets down and, like, looks at the remnants of the amulet, kind of pissed that it's been destroyed and confused about what happened. I don't have any dice in... Oh, I guess that's not true. What's the one for supernatural? Awareness?
Awareness, yeah.
Oh, I have a surprisingly high amount of dice for that. So I would like to try to perceive anything I can about what the fuck just happened.
Give me an intelligence plus awareness roll. That's 5 dice.
Cannot believe Darby has 5 dice for that. 2 successes.
What comes to mind for Darby is a car analogy. You figured out that you started seeing ghosts once you put the pendant on. The pendant has something to do with ghosts. Has to be related. And when a lot of ghost shit was happening, when you were seeing 2 at once and they were hugging you, it started heating up. That reminds you of like an electrical component in a car getting overloaded and burning out. So you understood that the pendant must have been a conduit for some energy, or something like a fuse that got burnt out and doesn't work anymore. So you have an understanding that this thing probably does not work anymore, and you probably won't see any more ghosts.
Okay, I think Darby picks up the pieces of it to the extent that he can and puts it into his pocket. With the intention of maybe getting the Tremere to look at it now that he understands more about it. Mm-hmm. And then he tries to sneak out from the commotion of the setup and is looking for, I can't remember what car we drove here, the fastest car that he knows how to locate. And his plan is to start joyriding the MKT.
Oh, no, he would have been not in a car, but in his helicopter. He would have had to have gone to Darby Manor and switched over to a car to drive to Club Wonderland. We kind of glossed over how specifically you got to Club Wonderland. Did you land the helicopter on the roof of Club Wonderland?
I guess we know that there is, I mean, if this is canon, there is a helipad on the top of Club Wonderland that Benedict and Baraggio would use. So yeah, I think I just parked the helicopter there. I think maybe he realizes, fuck, there's, none of the cars. and he doesn't really want to steal one. I think he is going to make his way back to Darby Manor, trying to avoid his compatriots to get into a car and get to the MKT. That is his current goal.
Okay, so right now, wake up, ghost shenanigans happened. Now you are going back onto the roof to take the helicopter back to Darby Manor?
No, I think I'm going to leave the chopper there and just, it's not far, right? Like I just like walk or...
Yeah, it's not that long of a walk.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to spend the next 45 minutes or whatever walking to Club Wonderland and trying to avoid the roads because I know that my teammates are on their way for the chess thing that I am studiously avoiding.
You're walking to Darby Manor to get a car?
That's right.
Okay. So on your way out of Club Wonderland, you come out of the basement, you go on the first floor. You see that there's a big metal concert that's happening. And there's as you pass through, does it matter to you what's happening, the details of the concert, or are you just on your way out?
I think I may be cursorily glanced over at it, but I'm definitely not investigating.
There's an inflatable bounce castle in the middle of the dance floor.
And that maybe gives Darby pause, but then he realizes he's carrying a bunch of pointy shit that would immediately ruin it and break it for everyone. And not even he is in that sad of a mood. So he just, he keeps on trucking.
Okay. You make your way out of Club Wonderland, walking with purpose, and no one stops you or anything like that. So that leaves Archibald and Excavo, who wake up in Darby Manor. I think you spot a couple beds that were just delivered by the bed store. And you have about half an hour. Augustin just left. He says he'll meet you guys at Club Wonderland in about an hour. You have no idea what's going on with Darby. And you have a half an hour until you need to be at Club Wonderland.
Oh, I'm heading there. I want to be punctual. I put on my best outfit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like suited up, elegant, ready to go, ready to chess.
I don't get that elegant, but I do share what I saw in my dream with him. Well, do I? No. Actually, I won't. I will not share what I learned in my dream.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to freak him out.
Okay. So yeah, I want to head there. I look longingly at my wallet photo of Gary Kasparov and tuck it into my pocket for good luck, and we're heading over.
Okay. You and Excavo too?
Mm-hmm.
She's a strong, independent woman. She can do whatever she wants. Do you want to come with?
No, I come along. I'm curious now about my dream and what the hell's gonna happen.
Would be nice for more people to be there.
I want to come along.
All right, so you take one of your cars and park it next to Club Wonderland. There's, let's say, reserved parking. The parking lot's already pretty full, but there's reserved parking for like 4 spaces for the 4 new owners, conveniently enough. Approaching Club Wonderland, you hear you look up and you see a glimpse of a helicopter on the roof that wasn't there before, and you draw some conclusions. And you hear the deep thumping bass of a heavy metal concert happening inside. As you walk up, you see they're like display cases with show posters on the outside, and you see a poster for tonight's show. It started about an hour ago, and it has one opening band with a completely indecipherable logo, because metal bands. But the headlining band is clearly named ABC, and its logo is 3 colorful letters that look like balloon animals. It looks very out of place, like a children's band got accidentally booked at a death metal show. As you're walking up to the entrance, you spot one of the hunters, Donna Teller, who Excavo met at that library that one night. Father Paladian said that he would bring...
Oh, shit.
He said that he would bring... He was asked, hey, can you guys show up to Club Wonderland? He said, I'll send you one hunter to, be there and watch over things and back you up. And apparently it was Donna Teller, the one with the gun. It looks like she was just hanging out at the
famous
entrance.
Ninja Turtle weapon.
Yeah.
The gun.
The gun. If anything, I think Raphael would just be the one packing heat. It looks like she was just hanging out at the entrance and waiting for you to show up. And she greets you with a nod and says, hi, could you, and she lowers her voice a little bit. Could you get me through security? And she lifts up her jacket a little bit and flashes her famous gun. And what do you see?
Of course, milady.
You see that there are two dudes working the door, and one of them is wanding people for weapons, and the other one's taking money and putting bright pink wristbands on everyone. And the one wanding people is this huge bald man in tactical pants and a tight shirt with the word security on it, and he seems to be in charge. And you walk up, and they're about to wand you and ask for money, and what do you say?
Hello, I haven't met you yet. We are the new owners. I am Archibald Alvins. Nice to make your acquaintance.
Ooh, Archibald! Nice to meet you. I'm Billy Bembe. I'm the head of security here at Club Wonderland.
Oh, no.
Ooh, yeah, it's good to meet you.
Thank you so much for keeping us all safe and secure in here.
You should stay and talk to this guy for a while.
Yeah.
A long time. Keep this conversation going as
blood
long as possible.
Throat.
Every time I am here at Club Wonderland, I'm like, why is it a wonderland? You know what the most wondrous thing of all is? It's security. We couldn't do what we do without people like you. Have you noticed anything threatening? Are we good for tonight?
Ooh, well, this is one of them metal shows, and some of them bikers showed up, and usually they behave themselves, but you never know. Hey, Archibald, if you spot anything, or if your lady friend does either, you get a hold of me, old Billy Bembe, and I'll take care of whatever problems you have.
Billy, here's a question. To which lady friend are you referring?
Oh, there are two of them. The one that I intuited...
I am also an owner.
The one that I intuited was one of the owners.
Also, there will be a third lady coming tonight, and that will be a record, a metal show with 3 women in attendance.
I never thought I'd live to see the day.
And none of them are on stage.
None of them are on stage.
Oh, well,
it's a male-dominated industry.
Let me just get you your wristbands here, and one for the little lady, and one for the other little missy here. All right, so those will get you in. No one will hassle you. Sorry, we're still meeting the new owners. Not everyone knows you yet, but hope you enjoy the show.
Yes, I'm glad that you have a separate set of wristbands that just say owners on them.
Yeah, well, I sharpied it there real quick.
How many of those do you have?
You have fantastic penmanship. This looks official. This is the real deal.
I take pride in the penmanship. What's the point of writing if people can't read it?
What the fuck?
I like my calligraphers strong, so you are one of my new favorite citizens. Okay.
He's got biceps on his fingers.
The guy is pretty jacked, pretty comically jacked. Well, hey, if you ever need a workout buddy, you just look me up, okay? And he slaps you on the shoulder a little harder than you're comfortable with.
All right, Billy Bimbo.
It's Billy Bembe.
No.
Bembe. My mistake. Okay, let's go in and find our chess table. Let's set up the board.
Yeah, and you walk in.
It's a chest table.
Chest table.
I forget if you prearranged something.
I asked that we have like an area, booth, or table reserved. So
Billy, head of security, puts these pink wristbands on all three of you. And and he doesn't want you or Excavo or Donna. There seems to be an understanding of like, if you walk in with the owners, we're going to assume you're not causing any trouble. We're not going to wand you for weapons or anything. You walk in and you look up on the second floor and you see...
Oh, do Excavo and I have our weapons, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I was about to say, I always have a gun.
It's like
on my
funny,
person.
like I'm just carrying this big hammer.
Yeah, we're kind of doing video game rules with
okay, cool.
Like concealing.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think we're also assuming you're wearing kind of large, maybe long jackets that are concealing hammer and sickle, and you might look a little oddly dressed,
encumbered. Yeah.
To anyone who's scrutinizing you, but stuff is, you're not openly carrying these things.
We just love the Matrix.
So up on the second floor, you see a very conspicuous table right up along the edge of the second floor, a view of the dance floor. With it's a 2-seater with a little sign on it that says reserved. You take that to be your chess table. Also, as soon as you get in, Donna walks away briskly on the way to the second floor, and you see that once she's up there, she starts slowly walking around the second floor, just being kind of vigilant. She breaks off and she goes into like sentry mode,
which is exactly what you want to do if you don't want Famine to know that you're there. I think I would like to retrieve do I have a way of getting a bloody drink? Do we have like a reserve of blood to add to our alcohol, or should we just go up there?
Not at Club Wonderland.
Okay, so I'm just gonna head upstairs and get ready then.
Yeah, Prince Randolph had stuff like that hooked up at his house, but he didn't have things like that arranged at Club Wonderland. The owners before him did, but out of luck here. So you go up to the second floor and you were setting up your chess set, and you see what ABC stands for in the headlining band who has started playing. There's a giant rainbow bounce castle set up in the middle of the dance floor, and some people are in it and some people are scattered around it. And you see on other signage and the band self-identifying, ABC stands for Abortion Bouncy Castle. And the bounce castle is, you see people going into it clean and coming out of it covered in fake blood, and the occasional fake baby or fetus spilling out the sides of it. The inside of the bounce castle is just bloody and full of baby dolls, and people are hopping up and down in there and making a big mess. Apparently, this is the theme of the band.
Oh my god.
These people need Jesus. Wow.
The bounce castle is in the middle of the dance floor, and it's kind of dividing the audience, the people on the dance floor into two parts. On looking at the stage on the left side, you see a bunch of roller derby girls kind of clustered together. Most of them actually in roller skates, and on the right side you see a bunch of bikers, and they seem to be keeping their distance from each other. But there's a clear, one on one side, the other on the other thing going on down there. Excavo, what are you doing as you come in and Archibald's setting up for his chess match?
I feel like I'm a bit nervous because of what I saw in my dream, but I want to keep a straight face. Like, doing that is a bit hard. So I'm just trying to find the best spot and just like making sure I'm ready for whatever's about to fucking happen.
Where do you position yourself?
I don't know.
You're like with him at the table, or are you far away but within sight of it?
Oh, I'm not. I assume there's like a table and then there's like seating elsewhere.
Yeah, there's seating nearby.
Yeah, I would be nearby.
Okay. There aren't a lot of people on the second floor. A few people wandering around, Donna included. If you're sitting by yourself at a table, it looks a little strange, but not all that out of the ordinary. Almost everyone else is on the first floor, on the dance floor. But yeah, you can be nearby and either watching attentively or pretending that you're unaffiliated and uninvolved in Archibald's whole deal.
Oh, I'm probably just messing around on my phone until the match starts.
Perfect cover. So, is there any other preparatory actions that you take before just sitting down and waiting?
I think we're waiting.
So, you have the chess set up. You are in a very visible location with like people can probably like see the side of the chess set from the first floor. So anyone walking in would know like, yep, there's the chess thing. And you wait around for a little while and it becomes 9:00 and no one's walking up to you immediately. And you're looking over the crowd. You don't see anyone that stands out to you as being unusual. You spot a few people that you recognize. There's one person from Mario's gang that you harassed one time in that auto shop. You spot Teddy Linkletter, who's at the bar alone and drinking.
Oh.
You don't see anyone that jumps out at you as the person that you came to play chess with. And then someone walks in the front entrance wearing a head covering, wearing dark clothes, seems to be female, seems to be dark-skinned, and walks in and kind of stops at the edge of the dance floor and looks around and scans the area a little bit, and then just zeroes in on the stairs and walks really calmly across the dance floor to the stairs for the second floor and gets up to the second floor. And when she gets within sight of you, she pops her head covering off. You see that it was a hoodie. She's bright pink hair, and she greets a friend of hers. There's a table of girls that are now screaming because they're reunited. They're all friends. They go to college together, and they're immediately discussing what kind of drinks they're going to order. Mm-hmm. And as you are focused on this, you barely notice that another person is walking up to the table and sits down across from you. This is a man with who looks fairly athletic. He has a buzz cut. He has an Under Armour style shirt. He has an army green jacket that hangs past a thick belt. He has tactical pants on. He's got a little walkie-talkie clipped to a belt.
They switch just.
He's wearing a pair of leather gloves, thin leather gloves, and black boots. And he has the bearing of someone in military or law enforcement. You get that vibe, just the way he carries himself. He sits down across from you, just with a look on his face, like he's just acknowledging that he is not who you were expecting to meet. Mm-hmm. He doesn't say anything at first, but he has a look on his face like, yep.
Well, you're not what I was expecting.
And he says, Yeah.
But
Archibald, right?
all's fair in love and war. Shall we?
And he pauses for a second, considering what you said. But then he repeats, Archibald?
That's correct. And you are?
You can call me Kurt.
A pleasure.
Mm-hmm. So Archibald,
Shake hands.
Obviously I'm not the person that you were expecting to meet tonight.
Yes, of course.
You contacted my employer, who is...
Fatima, I'm aware.
And he says...
She must have been very busy tonight, is that right?
I'm sorry, who?
Famine? Her name is Fatima, right?
And he kind of disregards what you're saying, and he says, Archibald, I'll be straight with you. This is how this is going to work. I have been sent here by my employer to ask you a few questions. My employer is a private person who does not tend to meet with unknown people in public or in private or anything like that without first knowing some things about them. We do know some things about you, but before we start with the questions that my employer wants to know, I'm curious, why aren't you teaching at Dracula University anymore? You know, the people back there are very curious about your whereabouts. One night you're teaching, and then the next night you're just not coming to classes anymore, and you're not responding to emails, and people are very worried about what happened to you, and you turn up here halfway across the country, apparently new owner of a nightclub. What's going on?
Well,
I can't believe that's the canon name for where he taught.
Yeah,
Just
it is.
outrageous.
That was established a long time ago, yeah.
Fucking Dracula University.
I will yes and almost anything you guys do.
Well, you know how teaching is these days, Kurt. Just another teacher who quit, I suppose.
Did you come to this place specifically to contact my employer?
Not at all. I came for the climate.
Okay. Well, here's how this is going to work. I'm going to be asking you some questions, and you're going to answer them, and I'm going to report back to my employer. If they want to contact you, they will. And if you try to turn this around and get information out of me about my employer, which I think is what you want, this conversation will end. Is that clear?
Yes. Crystal.
Switching over to Excavo, you are overhearing this. I don't know how close you want to be to this table, but with your heightened senses, you could be a distance away and you're still hearing this whole conversation. Do you have any response to any of this? Are you doing anything? Or are you just continuing to listen?
I'm mulling over what I should do next. This is not what I expected. I knew we weren't going to win a chess game, but not like this. I assume that if he knows about Archibald, he's probably learned some stuff about me and probably recognizes me. He might feel like I'm bombarding him if I also come over and
No.
try and also ask questions.
Do me a favor, give me an investigation plus plus perception test, Excavo. For you, that's 6 dice, just for getting a read on the scene.
4 successes.
Yeah, 4 is a very good roll. You do spot him when he was walking up the stairs, and you saw that he's scanning around. He spots the chess set. He spots Archibald. He nods like, "Yep, that's the person I was expecting." And he He doesn't glance at you. He doesn't pay you any particular mind. But also with 4 successes, you, even before he showed up, you were scanning over the area, just looking for potential threats or anything out of the ordinary. And you saw him walking around the nightclub. He was already there when the 2 of you entered, the 3 of you entered. And he stood out to you a little bit, just given how he was dressed and what his demeanor was. He's obviously not there to like party and see the band. He kind of looked like he was part of the club's...
like the one guy like this.
Mm-hmm. Not the one guy. One of 3 guys. You noticed him, that he seems kind of like he's security, but he's not dressed like club security. And now you know for a fact he doesn't work for Club Wonderland. Mm-hmm. And you spot, spaced out around the club, 2 other guys who were dressed kind of like him. And you spot on at least one of the other ones, they also have a walkie-talkie on their belt under their jacket. And your guess is he is there with a team of at least 3 people.
So the 2 of us are outnumbered.
No, we have 3.
Oh, yeah. There's Donna.
We got Donna.
Oh, Donna. That's right. I'm curious. Are they looking at Donna? Is she being too obvious?
Give me an intelligence plus perception roll. Difficulty 5.
And we all came in together. I think the jig is up anyway.
Yeah, that's 5.
4 successes.
Again.
Yeah, because of the 1.
That's an excellent roll. You notice that one of the other people who looks like he's part of this mystery group is noticing Donna and thinking that, like, reacting to her presence in a really noticeable way. And he goes over to the other similarly dressed man and nudges him and points to Donna, and they have a little conversation. And this is all the way at the other end of the club. And you see one of them actually pulls out a walkie-talkie, and while looking at Donna, who doesn't notice them, says something into the walkie-talkie. Let's switch back over to Archibald. So the guy across from you, who identifies himself as Kurt, he pulls out a little... I can't tell. Darby, I can't tell what your background...
I'll fix it.
Screw you guys, I'm going.
Perfect. He pulls out a little notepad that you can see has some writing on it. And he pulls out a pen and he asks the first question. He says, Archibald, how did you know how to contact my employer?
Well, I would love to brag about my deductive reasoning skills, but suffice to say, the U.S. Postal Service is a beautiful thing. Kurt, I haven't noticed. You have yet to make your opening move. You are white.
Kurt is, in fact, white. And he's writing down your answer on a notepad, and he glances at the chessboard, and he says, yeah, I don't know how to play chess. I'm sorry. I'm more of a checkers guy.
Unfortunate. Very well. Carry on.
And he presses you a little further. What do you mean the Postal Service?
Yes. My predecessor had been playing a correspondence chess game with your employer. And as an avid fan myself, I thought it would be a fun challenge. I saw that they are quite skilled.
And he raises his eyebrows a little bit, but he's writing down your answer. Next he asks, what do you know about my employer?
Not much. Not much at all. I'd like to know more.
So this is just an interest in playing chess?
Primarily, yes.
Okay.
And I like an in-person game more than a correspondence match. You see, chess is so much more than the moves. It's about seeing people, reading people. You understand.
And he starts to, as you're getting into the talking about chess, he starts to kind of dismiss, like, I don't need to hear that. But then he stops and he starts to understand the depth of what you're saying a little bit more. And he goes, okay. What is your disposition toward my employer?
What do you mean by disposition?
Are you angry at them for anything? Do you wish to have a romantic connection with this person? What are you getting at? What are you looking for? What are you pursuing?
Well, I suppose it's adversarial in the context of the match itself. But, I haven't met many skilled players here in my new locale. Mm-hmm. I crave a good game of chess.
Have you ever had contact with my employer before?
Not that I'm aware of, only through the letter that I sent.
Was the only purpose of this meeting to play a game of chess?
Well, if your employer turns out to be an interesting person, perhaps we could start a budding friendship.
If my employer wishes to contact you, how would you prefer to be reached?
My cell phone number is blank, 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 but blank, 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 555-5555. Or she can send any correspondence here to Club Wonderland.
Is there a message that you would like for me to convey to my employer?
Say, I hunger for a worthy opponent.
And he shrugs and he writes it down. He puts his notepad back in his jacket, puts away his pen, pulls out his cell phone, holds it up to you, and takes a picture of you before putting it away. And he nods to you, and he turns around and walks away.
Thank you, Kurt, for your patronage, and
Do
make
they all
sure
leave?
If you learn chess, I will gladly play with you. I think you would like it more than you think.
So, Excavo, you are keeping an eye on him and on the other two scary people, his team members, whoever they happen to be.
Yeah.
And
his goons.
The goons. We'll go with that. And you notice he flags the other ones down, and they all meet up, and the other two point over to Donna, and they have a little discussion while looking over at Donna, and then they all kind of nod and walk out.
Okay, now they're gone. Now I will tell Archibald about my dream.
Thought they were going to immediately kill her. Okay, wow. Okay, there's two other guys.
I asked.
Definitely thought that was more.
Yes, there are two other men. They seem to look at Donna a little funny, but not at me, which is exactly what I wanted, except for the Donna part. I did have a dream, another one, where myself came to be, and I asked her if we would win this chess match today, and she said no, and now I know what she meant. I did not want to share that with you in case we were actually going to play chess.
Well, I mean, regardless, Augustine has told me about some crazy dreams as well, but
it's true.
It doesn't change my FIDE rating.
Oh my god.
It's
What?
That's like the official like chess ranking
how
organization.
everybody
thing.
pronounce it FIDE.
Is it FIDE? Okay,
I think it's
I've
FIDE.
only ever
Excavo
seen it written.
also does not know chess.
FIDE reading. But go dub that back in.
Yeah, Excavo doesn't like the unpredictability of the other person on the table. She just wants to hack her way through stuff. So she's not a big chess person.
It would be a fun challenge for her to figure out how to elaborately cheat in in-person chess matches, though.
Oh no.
I have an idea.
2022 definitely had some fun chess moments.
I think I'm less interested in what you were telling me about that, though, and I'm just, like, exasperated, because it's like...
If I could say I
I'm
had
trying
the
to play-
metagame, I was
trying to play
shocked
some
you weren't
chess.
more pissed off that
I
they
am.
pulled this bait and switch.
He just wants to play
No,
fucking
I
games.
see-
We've been looking forward to this chess game for weeks.
I secretly
In real
am
life,
very
years.
pissed. Now I'm, like, getting frustrated. Now that they're gone, mask off. I'm mad.
Do you have a chess app on your phone? You play
It's
chess
not
on
the
phone?
same,
It's not the
Excavo.
same?
You're the one who likes apps. I'm the one who likes authentic vampiric connection. I was going to say human connection, but I'm not a human anymore, damn it.
We'll say around now, Darby would be... We'll say Darby's arriving at Darby Manor, and Augustine is arriving back at Club Wonderland. Darby, what do you do once you get back to Darby Manor?
So I see that the beds have been delivered, and I'm like, oh, yes. And so I take my Batman bed, and I load it up into the back of the El Camino. I rustle up any of my possessions. Like, I'm huffing around, making a mess, just taking all of my stuff and loading it up into the El Camino.
You're running
I'm
away.
not, like, trashing the
You're
place.
that mad? Oh my god.
And
Oh no.
I take a lot of my tools and stuff that I'm going to use to fix up the car from the garage, put those in the El Camino as well. And then I take off, and my plan is to blow off some steam by just like maxing out how fast I can drive in the MKT. Just like getting reckless down there just to see what I can, like. I want to push the system to the limits. Darby is like pissed, like dancing mad, and he is gonna try to drive the rage away.
Dancing mad. I love that
Did you
phrase.
say
Never
dancing
heard
mad?
that.
I sure did, like from
Oh.
Footloose or something.
I was gonna be like, yeah, Maniac from
It's even better.
Last Chance.
Oh,
All right.
No.
Blowing off steam in the MKT. Archibald and Excavo, you notice Augustine coming in. Augustine, you notice what this show is. You are greeted at the door by Billy Bembe and given one of those owner wristbands. You were let in. He even lets you bring you've got your shillelagh, your magic talisman shillelagh. He's like, "Ooh, I see you got a walking stick," and he's fine with it. And you walk in and you see it's a metal show with a big bounce house castle with a deeply offensive name and theme. And you spot pretty quickly Archibald and Excavo.
As he's walking up, I'm mid-sentence just saying, yeah, I sure wish that ABC stood for abortion bouncy chess. Sure could go for a chess game right about now.
Bouncy chess?
What would that even be?
I don't know.
You're only adding to Augustine's passive confusion because for reasons unbeknownst to him, he saw ABC, didn't see the actual name, and just assumed all bear cubs, and saw humans on stage, which he just found bewildering.
This is bullshit. Do you have Paddington with you?
It's
always.
my favorite cereal. Oops, all bear cubs.
On the way in, Billy Bembe is like,
That
"You
would have
should
been
go
like
to the bar."
arugula, basil,
get some-
cilantro.
I bet the bar could give you some pretzels for your little critter there. Don't want him to go hungry.
Your consideration is magnanimous, my good man. Please. And I offer him a tomato.
It is magnanimous. It really is. It was actually magnanimous. You did it. Yes.
Kind of.
Hey.
That's a wrap.
You worded.
43 episodes to that conclusion.
They can't all be right. Sometimes everybody makes
44.
mistakes and says a correct word
Accidentally.
correctly.
A stopped clock. So as Augustine, as you walk up to Archibald and Excavo to be like, "Hey, guess who's here?" Donna also walks up to the three of you and says, "Hi. So how did it go? What happened?"
Well, it wasn't great, Donna. Do you know how to play chess?
Yeah, I know how to play chess.
Would you care for a game while we talk about all of our feelings?
Yeah, I think that could be fun, but and she points to her cell phone. I think something weird might be happening at the church. None of the other people at the church are responding to my text messages. I was supposed to keep in touch and report on what's happening here, and I can't get a response from any of them. Not from Leonard O, not from Ralph L, not from Michelle Angelo, and not from Father Paladian. This
Daddy?
It seems unusual.
Daddy's not texting back?
Father, but yeah.
Okay. Excavo, do you have eyes on the church?
There's no security camera nearby.
Donna, I'm confiding in you that I am a compulsive worrier. I always worry about my friends who aren't here, like Dad.
Father
But
Paladian?
I worry, yes, I worry that we may have been bamboozled.
How? In what sense?
Well, you see, this whole time I was planning on playing 3D chess. What I didn't expect is that Famine might be playing 4D chess.
Oh, fucking get out of here.
That's a whole other D.
It's another D for sure. And I'll tell you what the D is. It's
Might have been
probably
in traffic the whole time.
the D stands for dang it. Your friends are in trouble.
Or distraction.
I lost the plot there. Okay.
Decoy.
Donna, what would you say to taking a ride in our vehicle and we go try to save your friends' lives because they might be in danger or they're not answering or whatever, but
Or they're just watching a movie or something.
Did
and-
she drive
they might be
separately?
doing like a little phone break for their mental health or whatever.
She has her own car. She drove. She was already there when you showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be a
Right.
good idea.
I just am concerned about the environment, so I like to suggest carpooling whenever possible.
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay, let's roll.
All right. Who is accompanying Augustine and Excavo?
Yeah, are we all going?
Yeah, Augustine has
Mhm.
no reason to stay there. There are no barracks on stage, so
I
yeah,
have
I'm in the car with
hastily
you guys.
thrown my chess set together in the hopes that one of the priests will play with me. Not that we can go inside.
Mm-hmm.
We'll play out across the street.
All right. Well, you all leave and pile into whatever vehicle you took there. On the way out, you catch a glimpse of a brawl starting between the roller derby women and the bikers, roller derby women, yelling something about why did you destroy our rink,
Yeah.
our practice rink, which of course Darby did.
No.
Of course. Yeah.
And the person you just met, head of security, Billy Bembe, is in there like, "Oh, you rascals, you break it up right now." And you walk right past that and you head into your car and you head to the church, which I think the name was, St. Michael the Archangel Church.
Wait, on this sweet scene transition, I need to dip out for 1 second.
Do it.
And get some hydration.
I do need to use the bathroom as well.
Ultimate suspense.
I kind of thought that there'd be a chance that Darby would want to take out his aggression in a metal show mosh pit, either inside or outside.
He doesn't really shit where he eats, though. He wasn't interested in destroying.
It would have been
club.
Problematic if he did like wreck up the joint.
He also didn't want to see everybody else, and he knew that's where they were coming. So his imperative was to get the hell out of there.
I'm like surprised how mad he is.
Well, hopefully this will lead to a nice reconciliation. Or a big reveal that Darby has been war this whole time. Be a hell of a twist.
The war's inside all of us.
The real war was the friends we lost along the way.
I'm just thinking about all of the hardcore chess nerds that tuned in to stream tonight and are just,
all of them,
like, so disappointed.
Oh no! Like, ooh, are they gonna actually play chess?
It would have been fun.
What are they gonna do? Take my king?
What's the starting?
What's their plan? They're gonna take me on passant? Bring it, nerds!
Everything I know about chess is from the Queen's Gambit.
Are you comparing me to Anya Taylor-Joy? Are you saying I'm prettier?
No, I can't.
You have bigger eyes, for sure.
She's incomparable. She looks kind of like an alien.
Like an elf.
I always thought that, but yeah, I think Anya looks more
different.
like an elf.
Maybe it's the eyes
Amanda
are too
Seyfried
wide? I don't know.
looks like an alien to me. Guess who's right here down by my feet? Being cute.
Amanda Seyfried?
Franklin?
It's Amanda
wait, it's Ben.
Seyfried. Yeah,
I
it's
knew
Ben.
it. Yes.
She's right here.
So you drive to St. Michael the Archangel Church, which I thought was maybe an overly dramatic name for a church, but there are multiple churches, including one, I think, in Indiana called St. Michael the Archangel Church. Anyway, as you walk up, there is indeed foul play afoot. So you see smoke billowing out of the church and light that suggests a fire inside coming from the windows. And you also see a van driving away from the church in the opposite direction, like away from you.
Okay, I immediately look at the license plate.
Okay.
Driver, follow that van.
You also see outside of the church, there's a group of 4 people who are standing there and are throwing Molotov cocktails through the windows and yelling stuff at the church, like tauntingly. It seems like there are 2 things to address. One, these people attacking the church and people potentially being inside the church and maybe on fire. And 2, there is a van that is speeding away.
Okay.
What are the people yelling?
As you get closer, you get some more details. You see that they all look like bikers. They all look like bearded, rough and tumble types, and they're all yelling, "Father, come out! We just want to talk!" Molotov cocktail.
Are they saying that like a Pokemon attack as they do it?
One of them is, and the other is looking at him like, "Dude, it's not. You don't have to." All right, Gary's gonna be Gary.
Okay, so I'm gonna say, Donna, you take inside. These are my type of people. I'll handle them. Excavo, Augustin, I've always wanted to say this. Follow that car.
All right, so Donna nods and does a tactical roll out of your vehicle.
I do a big jump.
Oh no.
a big leap.
Flying.
Is that necessary, Donna?
The double-handed
I
dagger
jump
leap,
very high
your
because I
super
can.
secret technique.
Yeah.
I am the master commander. Augustine, what's your drive skill? What's your driving skills?
Not great, but let me look.
You have 1 dot in drive.
Yeah, have fun driving and being in combat.
Yeah, I also have 1 dot.
You can drive. That's something. I mean, you could drive without any
You have
dots of
tomatoes
drive.
on you?
I always have tomatoes on me. What do
It's
I not have tomatoes on me?
Saturday. I mean,
Okay. Okay, I will drive. You will throw tomatoes.
I think that would
Finally,
work in...
the culmination of my skills.
if only this worked like Super Mario Brothers 2, where you could just throw
Yeah.
vegetables at
Like
enemies.
Mario Kart Double Dash.
he should work on a ritual to create tomato bombs.
All right, so Donna runs right into the church, and you don't have any sense of what's happening in there. Also, there's that weird. It's called sanctuary. It's a hunter thing where it is extremely difficult. You can tell that it would be extremely difficult for you to force yourself to enter the church without an invitation. You can try and do it. There's a roll for it, but you feel that like, oh, I'm forbidden from there thing. Archibald, you roll up on, there are 4 people in front of you, and they look like they're ready to fight. And they turn to you and they say, one guy, a bald biker dude, walks up and he says, "Hey, who are you?"
Oh, hello, fellow leftists. I see that you enjoy... I can't do this with my headphones. Hello, fellow leftists.
I get
I see that you Oh, wait. Hello, fellow leftists.
It's worth it to get it
I
just
see
right.
that you I see that you too enjoy a Molotov cocktail. Were you aware that you can sabotage the construction of prisons by mixing in sugar with the concrete mix?
So, were you in the bar called the Rusty Tailpipe when Darby met with Brain Bucket?
I think I was, yeah.
You recognize Brain Bucket. He doesn't recognize you, though. He walks up, he's like, "All right, who the fuck are you?" Very confrontationally.
Oh, just a comrade who loves burning down churches. That's my thing that I love. Earlier today, I was at an abortion event. So I think you and I are on the same side, friend.
Who are those people? And he points to the car that's chasing after the van.
Well, those are my comrades. They love chasing vans. You know, a broad leftist mutual aid movement requires a diversity of tactics. Some of us like Molotov cocktails. Other leftists chase vans.
And he walks up even closer to you, and he gets really close, and he says, "Call him back here right now, or we're going to beat your ass." And he waits, and the other 3 walk up, and they have this expectant look on their faces.
Honestly, your politics are bad if you think that any of us own a cell phone. Do you know who made those cell phones? Capitalists made those cell phones. Child labor.
Darby would be unsubscribing to this podcast so fast.
You think that I, Professor Archibald Alvins, would own a cell phone?
Named them.
So you get the clear sense that you are about to enter combat if you don't do anything to de-escalate.
Yeah, I can take these guys.
combat.
It's fine.
Okay.
Man, I really wish we had
It's just
someone here
Brain
who could just
Bucket.
deadlift 800 pounds and just murk them.
Yeah, he'll show up in the nick of time.
All right.
Hey, remember what I did to that mime last time?
Oh, no. History will remember what you did to that mime.
Oh, no.
So as you're having this discussion, there are very strange sounds coming from inside the church. Ones that you've never heard before that sound like a large creature, but also kind of sound like a waterfall. You hear like, and the light of the fire inside starts to dim, and you actually see the bizarre sight of water splashing out against the inside of the windows. Going back to Augustine and Excavo. Excavo, you are driving, correct?
Yeah.
So, describe what your goals are as you're following this van that is now on the main streets and driving somewhere kind of speedily.
So, I mean, I've played Grand Theft Auto before. I'm trying to get in front of them and cut them off. So I want to know what their deal is. What vehicle is this? What vehicle are we in? Is this the Escalade?
Let's say, yeah, it's the Escalade.
Doesn't matter. I'm going as fast as it can go. I am trying to stop them. That is my goal.
So this is vehicular combat.
I've also watched Darby drive. So I've learned some things. Am I good at them? We will see.
So you're going to try to violently run them off the road, right?
I just want to cut them off, not like hurt them, just make them stop the vehicle.
Okay. So not like crash into them, but just like get in front of them and stop.
Oh, they can't. Yeah.
If we're in the vehicle together, I feel less bad about offering meta thought, but have you considered a pit maneuver that doesn't require you to get in front of the vehicle we're chasing?
Like nudge them on their butt.
Well,
yes, spin them out from behind.
Here's the thing. Excavo would not know what the fuck that is.
Fair.
If Augustine would know what that is, and you could know that just from watching TV, you could suggest
especially
that.
Within the amount of time, like I'm trying to go quick, right?
Yeah, totally.
Like, oh no, they're gonna... Yeah, like that does sound like a good idea, but I don't know that. Driving is not my specialty.
That's fair. All right, so
yeah, I'm in pursuit.
So this is going to take a couple rolls. One to I'd say the first round is just catching up to them and not losing them as they peel away and you try to actually get behind them. And
not
then,
getting pulled over.
Yeah, if there's that too, the presence of cops. If you do catch up to them, then every round will be one roll to keep up with them and another roll to successfully do something to stop them. So give me a drive plus wits roll, please.
Oh my god.
She's rolling like a mad woman today.
I am rolling hot today.
4 successes. Yeah, you catch up to him pretty easily, and you're right behind him.
Oh, sweet.
So you are now trying to get in front of them, right?
Augustine, throw a tomato. Yes.
Augustine, do you start throwing tomatoes?
Do you listen to me?
Yeah. I attempt to huck a tomato, preferably in front of their driver's side windshield.
Oh, of course. Well, give me a dexterity plus athletics roll. That is 5 dice for you.
I'm gonna biff and
hit Excavo.
Slam one in my own face.
I believe in you.
They see me rolling. Maybe.
Oh god, apparently the game did not, though.
Zero successes, but not a botch. So you throw a tomato.
You fired, you missed.
You manage to, because of the positioning, you do need to throw it out the open driver's side window across Excavo's face. You managed to miss her. You didn't botch.
No.
But you also just completely miss the other vehicle. I think if you would have succeeded, that would have lowered the difficulty of the next roll. So Excavo, to get out in front of that vehicle and get it to stop, I think this is a high difficulty thing. Drive plus wits, difficulty 7.
Okay.
2 successes.
2 successes.
2 successes. Let's say there's a curve. You're going around a corner. You take the outside lane and you swoop in right in front of them, and you force them to kind of like veer off onto the sidewalk, and they're stuck for the moment. And you look over into through the windshield, and you see that there are 2 people in ski masks who are driving, who look very upset about what just happened.
Okay. Would it be worth it to read their auras at this moment?
You can read their auras.
Of course. It's your job.
Okay, let's do it. I'm going to read their auras.
Perception plus empathy, difficulty 8.
Still 1.
There we go. It's 1. There's 1.
So you just get very surface level information about their auras, and you can tell that the 2 of them are human, and they're very nervous. They're very jacked up. They got adrenaline pumping through their systems. Oh, actually,
okay.
I misspoke. You notice that both of them are ghouls.
Oh. Interesting. Okay. I relay this to Augustine, and I want to step out of the vehicle calmly and go talk to them.
I put Paddington in the back seat of the vehicle and remove myself from...
You're in the back seat?
No, I put Paddington in the back seat and get out of the vehicle, and I'd saunter over to the car with the ski mask peeps.
So they are not taking it easy. They want to get out of this situation.
I know.
And they immediately reverse their van and slam into the side of the Escalade. Which, by the way, had just gotten repaired from being wrecked up by a dancing robot.
Son of a bitch!
How close... So in my saunter, before they ram into the back of the Escalade, how close am I to their van?
You are close enough to probably do whatever you're wanting to do.
I produce a Tonto and slash their tires.
Ooh. So it's not as easy and straightforward to do that as...
I'm still like this.
I'm going to need a roll for that. Give me a dexterity plus melee roll, please.
Which is 4 plus... Where is my melee? 5. 5 dice.
Yeah, 5 total.
Copy that.
Is there anything, like, on the van? Like, any sort of, like... Is it just, like, a plain van?
Oh, my God.
Botch.
Botch.
Oh,
yeah, brother.
Nasty.
Tonight you were not the cream of the crop. So, Excavo, answer to your question. You see someone in the driver's seat and the passenger seat, and you could tell that it is it's like a cargo van that has capacity for other stuff in the back, but there aren't any windows or anything like that. So you can't tell what's in the van. Augustine, you stab your Tonto into the tire, and somehow it gets into the tire, but it doesn't pop it, but it does steal the Tonto from you. As the tires are turning, you just lose that Tonto. Which I believe you imbued with your own blood.
Both of them, actually, yeah.
Yep. So the van has your Tonto for the moment. It's just a little knife.
Tonto, jump on it.
Oh, God damn it.
With his blood. At this point, I definitely catch the license plate. For sure.
Yeah, and you have enough time to mark
funny?
down what it is. It's nothing funny, but it's short enough to be something you can remember.
Oh.
You see it, you repeat it to yourself a few times, you internalize it. Also, Augustine hears you repeating it to yourself a few times, and his
eidetic.
Hey, you're batting 1,000 today.
Ideatic. The Adriatic memory.
MKH 972. Why not?
So it is, they are trying to get out. They're trying to escape their situation. I'm going to roll for them real quick. They successfully squeeze their way out of the little corner that you pinned them in. And they're starting.
Can I shoot their tire?
You can totally, as they're driving away, you can try to shoot a tire.
Yeah.
It'd be dexterity plus firearms.
It's definitely a change in tactic on me.
4 dice,
I was
please.
trying to be calm.
And for targeting, I think for targeting's sake, difficulty should be higher. Oh, doesn't matter. That is
doesn't matter. That
botch.
is a botcherino. She used all the luck.
Please, God, tell me she shoots the Tonto.
What did you do to me, Augustine?
So
great.
both
You're
of
doing
you,
so well.
both of you were attacking.
I shoot a random bird flying by.
Oh no,
Bot
it's
squad.
nah. So both of you are trying to attack the same tire at the same time. Augustine's running up to stab a tire at the same time. You're like, I'm going to shoot that tire. You shoot Augustine.
Enjoy having a lethal damage for 6 months that you refuse to heal.
6 months.
Oh, he could heal it immediately, but he just won't.
Augustine, please roll 3 dice to see how you soak 2 lethal.
Oh my god.
I
He's
don't.
doing so well.
You receive 1 lethal from Excavo.
My reaction timing, I don't suppose I'd have the capacity to... I don't suppose there's anything I can do with that blood-infused Tonto being not in my hand. I couldn't will it to be a pool of blood, could I?
I think you have to touch it.
So she shoots me, they're wheeling away, and at this point, do we assume they have successfully escaped our grasp?
You can attempt to catch up to them, but this would follow the same rules of if you are repeating something that you failed, difficulty is going to go up with every attempt. So you can get back in your car and try to continue chasing after them.
I don't know how to say this in Augustine speak, but they have my Tonto. Part of me is leaving with that car.
We need the bombasticator for you then.
They possesseth my weaponry pole.
These brigands have absconded with my blade.
That's much better.
They possess my possession.
These scallywag hooligans have obtained my one silvery line of hope in this world.
My wand of violence.
Yes, that's an
Wand of
Augustinism
violence.
right there. Nailed it.
Wand of violence.
All right, so the 2 of you get back in the car and just round 2.
Does
Yeah.
it run?
Oh yeah. The Escalade is fine. It's just been scraped really
Clocked on the
badly.
side.
So if you were doing that, I suggest that this might be a good stopping point for this session. Leaving it at Archibald is about to pick a fight with 4 people outside of the church while...
Yeah, we'll be going back to the church.
And Donna Teller is in the church. Paladian and the 3 other hunters, unknown where they are. And Darby is blowing off steam in the MKT. And we don't know when or where he will emerge from that. Do we agree this is a good stopping point?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
For sure.
Dope.
That was a fun session.
It keeps sounding like you're saying Donatello
That's...
wrong. I know, that's a joke.
What
It's
accent?
That is the
Taylor.
joke.
I have to like stop
Donna
myself
Teller.
from correcting him.
I feel like that's a
Virginia,
a
like
Darby-esque. Yeah. Yes. Donna Taylor.
Have you figured out what Darby's what his specific accent is?
His nationality.
Oh, it's generic Southern Indiana, whatever. It's just Southern. There's people that talk like that in Kentucky, in Indiana, in the West. Like, it's just an affected accent for, rural people. Generic. You can call it the voice of NASCAR.
It's got that NASCAR accent.
All right, well, we can start spending some experience. Archibald, you have 4 points. There, I think, are a few things you could buy with 4 points.
I'm going to save them.
Okie doke. Augustine, you also have 4 points.
I will continue to hold them.
That is easy. Darby, you just spent 20 points getting your 6th dot of strength. Now you're back up to only 2 points. And I think there are only a few things you can get. You can get the 2nd dot of an ability, or the 2nd dot of an ability that, or the 2nd dot of a virtue if you only have 1 dot in one of those. I don't think that applies to you, though.
Too many dots in virtues. I suppose did I do an investigation roll tonight? No, it was perception and awareness. Academics is amazing. Academics and investigation are the only qualifying dots, I think.
Given the very touching scene that you had with Jack and
empathy
Jasper.
dot 2. Yeah, that might make sense. Is that what you're going to suggest?
I think you would qualify for it, and you can afford it.
Okay, so I will do that, but let me ask everyone, in my pursuit of just combat dominance, what would be the next pie in the sky thing that I should go for? My instinct says my 2nd dot of celerity, but I would need someone to teach that to me, so I'd have to role play that out. I can't just have that. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to think about it. I'm gonna put that empathy dot, but I'm open to suggestions. I've been focused so long on this pursuit of this absurd strength dot that I don't have any cool things to follow it up with.
All right, so definitely you are doing the empathy dot?
Yep, I've added my 2nd dot of empathy, which is really amusing, but I think empathetic for the wrong reasons, but still empathetic nonetheless.
Well, you do have 1 dot of auspex, and if you want to bump that up to 2, you can use that extra empathy dot for another die in aura perception rolls.
Interesting.
For what it's
I don't know if Darby's really that into looking at people's auras.
Doesn't sound like Darby. It's not violent enough.
And can't be used for violence even. You can't suss out weak points in their physique or anything like that.
There are a bunch of interesting level 6 auspex powers. Is auspex in clan for Ventru?
Auspex is in clan for Ventru. I think it's presence, dominate, and auspex.
Okay, so the real offensive Auspex power, which is called Psychic Assault, that is level 8, not level 6. You wouldn't be able to get that. But there are 3 other interesting level 6 powers.
I mean, I am... Yeah, so you bring that up because I'm a low enough generation.
Yeah.
So what's level 6 Fortitude? Is it just continue to add more soak dice? That's the one I'm closest to.
No, it gets interesting with level 6. Level 6 Fortitude is personal armor. That's the thing where if someone hits you with a melee weapon, there's a chance that weapon will shatter on impact. And also, if someone hits you with an unarmed strike, the damage done to you gets reflected back to them. So whatever amount of damage you then are asked to soak, they would then also have to soak or suffer.
That sounds very Darby. So I think that is an excellent thing to work toward. He likes to just stand there and take hits and look badass. So I think that would be pretty fun. It's going to take me 35 experience points just to get enough fortitude to qualify for saving up for that. If I'm doing my calculation right. Disciplines are 5 times current level in clan.
I think that's right. 5 times current. Yes, that's correct.
And fortitude is just adding additional soak dice for aggravated damage until you get into those fancy powers.
Correct. In this system. And personal armor has an interesting quirk of if someone attacks you with an unarmed, if they're just like punching or kicking you or whatever, and they miss, if they fail to hit you, they still take 1 level of bashing damage. Just cause I'm not sure how that's supposed to be narrated, but
just like they get too close to your person, or like, I don't know. That's weird.
Like I think personal armor, the deal with that is if someone's going to like hand to hand fight you, they are always running the risk of getting injured, even if they don't cause you any damage. Even if they totally miss you, they're going to like stumble into a sharp part of your anatomy or something like that.
Failing the 2-hit roll just means you didn't do a good hit, right? So they may have just grazed my shoulder or something like that if they fail that roll, and then they still take damage.
They get like a boxer's fracture or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's how you get away with the narration. Like they touch you, they do it badly, but they still hurt themselves.
Bad touch.
Well, we ain't nothing but mammals. Not sure we still count as mammals since we're undead.
Not sure that vampires
we're not warm-blooded anymore.
I mean, they could squeeze blood out of their
Wow,
tits,
there are 2 kinds, huh?
So that'll be a fun journey for Darby. And Darby with more fortitude, that just means we can get an even more reckless Darby, which is good for comedy.
It all seems to work well. I have a plan. Thank you for helping me figure it
out. So that brings us to Excavo, who has 8 points, which is plenty to start spending on some fun stuff. I think we were talking about maybe upping your Auspex last time.
I would need 2 more points to do that because I'm at level 2. It's current level times 5. Yeah. How much would it be to get a 2nd point in drive? I think I drove
only 2
well.
Only 2 XP.
Deuce.
Oh, to get my 2nd point? Okay,
yeah, 2nd points of everything are strangely cheap. Like first points of discipline, in-clan disciplines are 10, and 2nd points are only 5. I don't know why it works like that, but it does.
Well, that leaves
it's
you...
like
all right, yeah.
Opening up a new line of learning costs a premium in XP.
Well, that leaves you with 6 more points.
6. I'm going to hold those.
Okie doke.
I'm going to save them.
Well, do we have any other feedback about how this session played out? Unfortunately, it did not have, as far as you know, any appearances horsemen, but
it also did not have any chess games, but I still had fun.
If you
I
just
liked role playing the conversations.
Maybe they're starving you
You
of your
were warned
chess.
there would be no chess.
I was warned that I would not win the chess.
True.
And I didn't even warn you until after.
Yeah, or Blake knew. Archie
Right.
did not.
Like,
I'm genuinely curious where this becomes a cooking show with the amount of egg that's going to be on our face from all the assumptions we've made. We have no idea if that dude was actually employed by Famine, and we were just like,
It could
ladle
be
it on, dude. You work for
anybody,
Famine,
right?
and he's just like, yeah, okay, whatever, man. So we have no idea about him.
I mean, we just don't know a whole lot about
Yeah.
Famine, so there wasn't really a lot of info to get.
So we don't know anything about him. We don't know anything about the ghouls in the van, or even if they're related to the fucking truckers. The bike gang burning down the church. Who, like, they might have just been spooked by the affiliate meth gang. I don't know. I doubt it, but, like, those could be disconnected and we just raised a bunch of ruckus. I feel like we acted on a lot of silly... I thought it was a fun session, but I think we acted on a lot of lack of information, and next session is going to reveal a lot of egg chilling on our face.
I mean, dramatic irony and unintended consequences are kind of the name of the game here. It's kind of what we signed up for.
Yeah.
This is true.
well, in the next session, we're going to have Archibald fighting 4 people who seem very prepared to fight.
Yeah, whatever.
With
I have a
We'll
hammer.
come back
They
for
don't.
you.
with maybe no
On our way
backup,
back.
or maybe the hunters will appear and help him out. And Augustin and Excavo trying to follow this van to stop it or follow it to its destination, whatever you decide to do. And then whenever Darby is ready to emerge from the MKT and whatever character transformation may have happened down there, and whatever he decides his next move is, not knowing anything that has been going on, unless if someone dares to send him a text message asking for his assistance. And who knows if he would believe that he wasn't just being fucked with.
I don't think it'll be from Excavo.
It's like,
He's
but-
done enough.
But for real this time, we really do need your help.
Yeah, would he even believe me? We gotta have someone else do it. Tell Augustin to...
We could always
Send
reverse psychology him and just be like,
message
hey,
on
yeah,
or
you leaving was like the best thing to happen to us. Just everything's fine since you were gone. Just it's good.
Or like actual...
That's a strategy. That's a plan. We'll see
I
how
just
that
sent
works
him
out.
the song "Since You've Been Gone" by Kelly Clarkson on Spotify.
Oh my.
Darby has all his notifications turned off.
That song's
Well,
Ooh. That's where we're going to pick it up next time. Sounds like that's it for tonight.
Until
Looking
next
forward to
time.
the next one.
Hell
Super
yeah.
good sesh. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.
Love you guys. Have a good night.